Hello and welcome to Pharmacology Shorts. I am Dr. Swati Negi and this is the last video in the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. This video is on angiotensin receptor blocking drugs. Angiotensin receptor blockers. This topic will be covered under this following subheadings. Let's briefly touch the physiology. Angiotensinogen from the liver is converted into angiotensin 1 by renin from kidney. Angiotensin 1 converted into angiotensin 2 by angiotensin converting enzyme which is secreted through liver. Angiotensin 2 shows effects like increasing aldosterone production which causes salt and water retention in the body. It also causes vasoconstriction. It causes release of vasopressin from posterior pituitary. It also increases the sympathetic activity peripherally, and these effects are seen through two receptors, AT1 and AT2, that is angiotensin 1 receptor and angiotensin 2 receptors. Angiotensin 1 receptor is what is blocked by the angiotensin receptor blocking drugs. Now, angiotensin receptor blockers, they mainly block the AT1 receptor competitively. Remember, this is a competitive antagonism. The effect seen will be, yes, there will be vasodilatation, there will be reduced secretion of vasopressin from posterior pituitary, reduced production of aldosterone, and this overall effect will be what? Yes, there will be reduction in the blood pressure, right? Now, what are the drugs we see in these groups? In this group, the drugs that we see have a postfix of sartans. Remember, the drug end with sartan. The drugs are losartan, telmisartan, candesartan, valsartan, aprosartan, irbesartan, and the newer drug now is azilsartan. This is a newer drug which has been recently approved by the FDA, that is azilsartan. Okay. Let's just see the pharmacokinetics of all the ARBs. All the ARBs, remember, they are absorbed very well orally. They are absorbed very well orally. But there is a slight change in metabolism and pharmacokinetics. Metabolism is mainly by cytochrome P450 except for telmisartan, which is metabolized by glucuronidation. Olmesartan is excreted unchanged in the urine. Renal dysfunction and hepatic failure. None of the ARBs require dose modification except for telmisartan, which is just should be used cautiously in hepatic failure. Remember, telmisartan is the only drug which can cross the blood-brain barrier and reduce the hypertension centrally also. As you can very well appreciate here, the protein binding of all these drugs is above 90%. So, the drugs are long-acting. Food is having minimal effect on their absorption except for valsartan, which should be given 1 hour before the meals, and that is because the absorption of this drug is decreased by 40 to 50% in the presence of food. Telmisartan has the highest half-life, that is of 24 hours, and it is also the drug which can cross the blood-brain barrier. The elimination is mainly through the hepatic route, renal route also, but hepatic route being the main route, right? Now let's see what are the indications of ARBs. ARBs are used in hypertension. They are used in myocardial infarction and chronic heart failure. Also in patients of diabetic nephropathy, they have renoprotective role just as ACE inhibitors, and the miscellaneous uses been in stroke prophylaxis and in portal hypertension. What are the contraindications and what are the cautionary measures we should know while using ARBs? They share it with ACE inhibitors. They are contraindicated in all the trimesters of pregnancy and lactation. They should be used with caution in renal and hepatic failure. They are contraindicated in hyperkalemia, hypovolemia, and hypotension, and that is because aldosterone is decreased in their presence. Patients with allergy are never given these drugs. With bilateral renal artery stenosis and severe aortic stenosis also, this drug should be avoided. Now, what are the adverse effects, guys? What will be the adverse effects? Yes, they will cause hyperkalemia, and this is because of reduced aldosterone causing potassium retention. Then dizziness and syncope will be seen because of hypovolemia. Then we will see that there will be precipitation of renal failure in bilateral renal artery stenosis. So these are contraindicated there, right? These are teratogenic, so contraindicated in all trimester of pregnancies. And angioedema, though rare, it can be seen with these drugs. Now, drug-drug interactions which you should remember while prescribing, and that is these drugs will reduce their serum levels. These are phenobarbital, indomethacin, and rifampicin, and the anti-hypertensive effect of ARBs will be reduced with ketoconazole and fluconazole. Now, the drug combinations recommended in hypertension are the preferred one being ARB with calcium channel blocker or ARB with diuretic like thiazide diuretic and loop diuretic, acceptable when renin inhibitor and ARB, but the unacceptable combination is ACE inhibitor and ARB or ARB with a beta blocker. Now, during the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was said that ACE inhibitors and ARB should never be used in COVID-19 patient or they can exacerbate the effect of COVID-19 infection. But now, recently with lots of studies, it has been found that nor ACE inhibitors nor ARB are in any way connected to increasing the symptoms of COVID, or nor do they make the patient susceptible for the infection, right? Let's just summarize the series, guys. Angiotensinogen conversion to angiotensin 1 can be inhibited by direct renin inhibitor like aliskiren. Angiotensin 1 conversion to angiotensin 2 is done by ACE inhibitors, is inhibited by ACE inhibitors like captopril, enalapril, prilbin, their postfix. Angiotensin 2 action can be inhibited by angiotensin 2 receptor blockers like losartan, valsartan. Sartan is their postfix, and aldosterone action is inhibited by aldosterone antagonist. So this was the series, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.